whether it's Hosana, but from the behavior, I think it's the new leopard. He's just behind the bush. We don't want to move too much to disturb him. So he's right here behind this bush. He's the one that you would have seen on the carcass camera. So he's just behind this bush, but he's crawling around a bit, not acting like Hosana. So I think it could be the new one that was seen just to the south yesterday. I think he's probably just stopped and hidden now. He's okay. As I say, from the pictures we saw from the other guides, he looked okay at night. I'm just going to try roll forward and not... Okay, yours can see him now. I'm just going to go forward a little bit. You can just see him sneaking off. You got him, Craig? Okay, let's just... I had one good clear view of him. I said we're just going to try to keep our distance a little bit. Craig, can you see him? You're a bit higher than me. Do you want me to tell me when to stop? Have you got a view? Oh, there he is. Okay, let's just go forward a bit. He could be stalking the impala. There's a whole big herd of impala here on the other side of the pan. He's stalking the impala. Is that Hosana? I'm not sure if it's a skittish leopard or if it's Hosana just being silly. No, it did look a little bit like Hosana to me, stalking impala. So we're going to get a gap shortly. Let's have a look. Now, you guys are going to be able to get a better look, obviously, with the zoom. But it looks a little bit... I'll just see. It does look a little bit like Hosana, but I can't really see. I didn't get a good view on the spot pattern there. But what's happening is, whoever it is, he's hunting. And impala. So let's just have a quick look. I'm going to try to go to the other side of the impala. He's still got quite a long way to go to get to them. And there is the little pan in between them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go wait on the other side of the impala. Hello, impalalas. I'm going to try park facing straight on for Craig because we've got a roof on today, so that can make life a little bit difficult for Craig using the camera while an animal's hunting and he has to move and swing around a bit. Now, as I say, we've lost sight of the leopard, but we're going to go across to Tristan quickly. Being skittish, he just spotted some impala, but the impala have moved off a little bit. So he's stopped. And this is the exact same area where that skittish male was seen, no more than 50 or 60 meters from where we are now. And of course, Hosana has been living a life on the edge recently, trying to fiddle around with hokumuri, which is not a good idea. But after a very relatively quiet start to the morning, all of a sudden we have leopard, and now Taylor has lions. Well, the impala moved off a little bit, and the males just started chasing each other around as we are getting to the beginning of the rut. It looks like Hosana is stopping for a quick drink. All right, let's go a little bit closer if he's having a drink. Hello, naughty one. Here he is. Now, leopards are mostly nocturnal, crazy shady, but it is not uncommon for them to hunt during the day at all, especially on a cool, overcast morning like this. They are the complete opportunist, and if an opportunity arises, they will grab it with all four paws. I'm very happy to see Hosana, but I was quite excited that we might have a chance at that new leopard. I've got a feeling that new leopard is not going to hang around either. He's of that age. He's a bit older than Hosana, where I guess he was about 3, maybe a bit older, where he's searching for territory, so he might just slink through this area, head further on. He's still got a year or 2 to go before he's going to be big enough to challenge any territorial male for territory. There's lots of different theories, Tammy, on scent marking and whether it denotes how old or how powerful the leopard is. I would think to a degree, yes. I think there's hormones and stuff that can be picked up by the Jacobson's organ in leopards that is well beyond what we can comprehend at the moment. So I would say yes to a degree. I think there is some, definitely some information that's passed about how big, how strong, territorial or not, if a male leopard smells another male leopard scent mark. Or maybe he's counting scrub hares, Easter bunnies in his head. We're definitely going to stick around with Hosana. I mean, he is such an active leopard, especially on a cool morning like this. So he might take a break for now, but it's very, very likely he'll be up and about again in not too long. So we're going to sit right here. He's found himself a nice little sort of clear patch of dirt amongst the long grass. He's had a busy week, our little Hosana. Well, those impala ran off, but they ran off because they were chasing each other. Crazy shady. They are going to start rutting and battling for females shortly. So impala generally are one of the most aware animals out here, just because everything eats them. Lions will try, leopards, hyenas, cheetah, wild dog. So their senses are highly attuned to picking up potential danger. This case, however, they didn't see Hosana. They just had an altercation amongst themselves. There were 5 impala rams. Now, as the rut comes closer now, the rut is the mating season for the impalas, you will start finding leopards that have lots of impala males to eat, and lions, because they become so focused on mating that they will often get eaten because they're busy chasing each other out and about and around, that they'll run straight into one of the big cats. So it's a nice time to be a young male leopard when there's lots of food about that's not paying attention. He does look extremely comfortable. So Cheryl, yes, it would be quite nice to just plop down wherever you might be and have a little snooze during your day. can see he's not breathing heavily. It's not too hot today. But as I said, he's such a boisterous leopard that he's probably going to get up and moving again. So we're going to stick it here while Tristan is on the move. Well, he has actually managed to make himself more comfortable, if that was ever possible. Now, very interesting what Taylor's chatting about giraffe specialist Nkuhumas. I think the last time the Nkuhumas killed a giraffe was close on 3 years ago. And they ended up sharing the carcass with, I think it was the Talamati pride. So that was a very interesting scenario that played out to the north of our border. And which means that either the Nkuhumas are down... Sorry, I'm being signaled from someone. So either the Nkuhumas are an offshoot of the Talamatis, or the Talamatis are an offshoot of the Nkuhumas. So that's the interesting thing about that. We don't really know where they came from, because the Nkuhumas were discovered on Buffalo's Hook at a place called Brown Ivory Clearing. And the Shangaan word for the brown ivory tree is Nkuhuma. That's where they got their name from. So there's all these very interesting dynamics that go on that you can never be 100% sure what happened. Now, giraffe girl. Yes, one kick from a giraffe and it can all be over, but I've seen prides of lions that specialize in animal and big animals like giraffe. There was a pride I used to see regularly in northern Botswana that at one stage were going through a giraffe every sort of 10 days till the buffalo came back, and then they went back to specializing on buffalo. Now, each individual leopard has unique spots, Bill G, and the section we actually use to identify them, we can't actually see on little Hosana at the moment because his head is not facing us, but I should have a picture that we can use. I can show you. Let me just find, there we go. Here's a picture. And it is of one of my favorites, Mr. Quarantine. So, the last line of spots above the last line of whiskers. So that top section of spots there is like a fingerprint on a leopard. So it is very unlikely to change. So that is the spot pattern we refer to when we try to identify different individual leopards. So that is the spots that we use. Now, apparently, the new leopard, according to Julie, has a 3-1 spot pattern. I haven't looked at those pictures too carefully, and they're a little bit too far to see the top spot pattern properly, but you could be spot on there, Julie. And we'll have to chat to the other guides who saw him. It's a very flat cat. Now, see, even though he's sleeping, you can see how his ear is rotating. He's still listening to what's going on around him. We're going to, as I say, stick it out with Hosana, because he does often become very mobile during the day, and especially a cool day like this. So we'll send you back to Taylor and the Nkuhumas in the meantime. We're still with the very, very comfortable little prince. So he is still fast asleep for the moment. And he doesn't look like he's got any plans of becoming too mobile just yet. And you would expect on a nice cool day like this for Hosana to probably be a bit more active. But of course we never know how active he's been overnight. If he's been a busy little boy and moving all over last night, it's a very strong possibility. Now, of course, there are lots of big cats around in this area, and Crazy Shady, yes, leopards and lions do cross paths from time to time. Now, when that does happen, the leopards will almost always try get out of dodge. If a lion came across a leopard and managed to corner it, the lion would most certainly kill the leopard. So if a leopard does come across a lion, it'll either try sneak off or climb up a tree, anything to avoid too much contact with the biggest of the Africa's big cats. Now, we have seen some interactions, actually a long time ago, right at this very spot, or very close to where we're sitting right now. We had a male leopard called Mvula mating with a female leopard called Kwatile, and Karula was watching from the other side of the dam, and then all of a sudden 2 Styx lionesses snuck up and tried to chase the leopards. So that was actually right here, and well, probably it was a long time ago. We unfortunately can't see the tree that the lions ran up into. It is behind the dam wall. Maybe that big green tree there, Craig. I think it's behind the pole, unfortunately, that one there. Yes, you can just see the top of the tree. That's the tree that the leopards disappeared into when they were chased by the lions. So, yes, they do come into contact with each other, and sometimes we are in the area when that happens. Lions are a little bit more blasé about how they cruise around the African bush, so often the leopards will spot them first and then just sneak off. At the moment, Hosana is doing no sneaking. He's just doing some napping. But Tristan is out on foot, and he's found a chocho. Well, maybe he's decided that Easter Sunday is his day off as well. He was quite busy earlier on, but now he's having a good snooze. Now, the unfortunate thing about Hosana and his snoozing at this time of the morning, it means he could be quite difficult to find in the afternoon, because he might move a vast distance during the day. He's not scared of a long walk, our Hosana. So it'll be quite interesting to see what happens on the afternoon safari, whether he is still right here around Twin Dams, or he has decided to go off on a march. Oh, wow. Well done. Chris Rogue has just tweeted a picture about the drive I was talking about, with lions and leopards coming into contact with each other. And it was April 5th, 2015. So nearly 3 years ago. Yeah, that's incredible. Almost to the day 3 years ago. I think if I remember correctly, it was one of the few times we had two presenters on the car. It was Scott and myself. And that's because Wendy caught fire April 5th, 2015, while on drive. Yes, we've had a few scares with fires in the vehicles over the years. But that was a long time ago. Well, as I said, we're going to keep playing the patience game with Hosana because he is generally such an active cat. In the meantime, though, unfortunately, Taylor has had to make space for some other people to come view the incredible Inkahumas. So let's see what her plan is next. No, Taylor, I have not popped my feet up and had a nap. And we're still hoping that he is going to get moving at some point this morning. So we're still playing the patience game. So you can see he's very much relaxed. Come on, Hosana. Maybe he's saving it all for the sunset safari. He'll be well rested by then. It is a lovely cool morning, so I'm sure he's very comfortable. This temperature is very nice for a snoozing cat. Hunter, yes, they do get stung by stinging insects, and it is quite funny when they do. Male lions in particular. They start growling and trying to bite tiny little things. It is very, very amusing when a big cat gets stung by a stinging insect. Or a scorpion. Sometimes when they're lying down on the ground, they will get stung by scorpions as well. But it is very, very amusing when that happens. They look completely confused. No, Equalizer, watching sleeping animals doesn't make me feel sleepy. I suppose I know the potential of what they can do in an absolute split second if the environment changes. So that's why patience is incredibly important when you're out on a safari, being able to wait for that magical moment. And often a lot of guides miss the magic moments because they don't have the patience to sit with a sleeping animal. Okay, well, as I said, we are playing patience this morning, and while we do that, it seems like Tristan is going to give a little botany lesson. Yes, I think Hosana would definitely enjoy an Easter steenbokkie for breakfast. Unfortunately for him, there's not much around him at the moment, but again, we're next to an area that has got a high thoroughfare of game, so there's always a very good chance that something just might appear at any moment. But we've managed to move into a spot where we can get a slightly better view of him. Cheeky, geeky Beth, spot patterns are not generally hereditary. Like fingerprints, they are going to be unique depending on the individual. So they are not hereditary. So unfortunately not. A lot of people Yeah, no, they're not hereditary. Unfortunately, it would make IDing cats a lot easier, wouldn't it? There we go, you can see Hosana's little spot pattern there. He is such a gorgeous individual. Let me just see if I can find my map for Julie. Julie is wondering, where is Hosana? So, Hosana is there, literally at Twin Dams itself. The elephant carcass is there, and the lions are here. So everything's happening in the south this morning. Actually, none of us have really checked the north, so you never know. There could be stuff happening up in the north as well. We'll have to look this afternoon. And he is a very comfy looking cat. The temperature is actually getting colder and colder as the morning goes on, which is going to be perfect weather for the Easter Sunday quarantine cricket match. Okay, next, just go again with that question, please. Roshni is wondering about the Jacobson's organ and the sense of smell. Oh, he's having a dream. You see that? His little eyes flashing away, and his lips and his whiskers tweaking. Silly little cat. He's dreaming of Tristan Stenbock. Or actually, knowing Hosana, he's probably dreaming of taking an adult giraffe or buffalo up a tree. But Roshni, the Jacobson's organ and smell work together. So the Jacobson's organ is generally only used when there is the sense of smell. Smell is also used when smelling other leopards, but the Jacobson's organ is if they're trying to get more information about that individual. Oh, he's dreaming. Oh, he's woken up. Did he wake up? No. Silly kitty. Yeah. Nikki says she thinks the dream woke him up. Maybe he dreamt he dropped his buffalo out of the tree and hyena ran off with it. Hi, Gary. Now, what we do between drives, Gary, it all depends on the day. And today we're playing cricket, but most of the time each of the different presenters has, well, the presenters we have our own things to do. We do some admin, some reading up on things we might not know as much about as we would like. And then the production team have quite a lot to do during the day, to do with little Safari Live stories, little videos, and sometimes we have review meetings. So every day varies in what we have to do. So cameramen have to log all the footage that they've filmed, and what else do cameramen do? Sleep a lot. No, so sometimes we'll have a little nap during the day, but you know, there's lots of different things that need to be done during the day. Now, there's quite a few vehicles wanting to come into Hosana. There's 2 here at the moment. So, oh, he's dreaming again. So I'm going to make some space for the other vehicles to come in and see Hosana, and hopefully we can catch up with them again this afternoon on the Sunset Safari. In the meantime, let's see where Tristan is tramping to.